Missionary, Knight of Malta and Bilderberger. Quite some credentials. Kissinger's now famous and declassified quote sums up the elaborate plan. Depopulation should be the highest priority of foreign policy towards the third world because the US economy will require large and increasing amounts of minerals from abroad, especially from less developed countries. Did you get that? The goal is perpetual war, as Bush stated. Race and colour have nothing to do with it. In the recent hostilities down in Africa, Ethiopia, with US support, is invading Somalia. This is black versus black. You know, politics divide, even sport divides. And divide and conquer. That's how it works. You know, here it says, the United States has quietly poured weapons and military advisors into Ethiopia. A new front in Bush's administration, war on terrorism. Ethiopia, war on terrorism, how is it affecting the United States? Somalia affecting the United States? Or do they want what these places have? There are several URLs here, that's addresses for these links to some of this information. Africa's secret, the men, women and children vanished in the war on terror. Fleeing war-torn Somalia, the refugees trapped and missing without rights. 51 killed in occupied Somalia overnight as clashes between Ethiopian occupational forces and insurgents raged in the occupied Somalia capital, Mogadishu. This new word, insurgents. Chris Floyd, a reporter, says, "Where the dead rot in the streets, Bush's terror war in Somalia rages on. As sure as night follows day, when George W. Bush backs a regime change, that is, invasion of a country, you will see headlines like this: corpses rotting in the streets." We have seen how those in power view us. Here is the reality as far as the Bible is concerned. We've put this on all of our documents. Leviticus 26 verse 17. "And I will set my face against you, and you shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you, and you shall flee when none pursues you." Get that? Those that hate you reign over you. Ezekiel 20:26, "that I might make them desolate." That is why these people are reigning over us, to make us desolate. "To the end that they might know that I am the Lord." So basically it is our rebellion that has caused God to put the basest of men over us. That's what Daniel 4:17 says. "This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living," that's us, "may know that the Most High rules in the kingdom of men and gives it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basest of men." So who are our rulers? Designer suits or not? The basest of men. Now how does the eternal God view all of us? Well, Isaiah 40:15 says, "Behold, the nations," that is all the nations, "are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, he takes up the isles as a very little thing. So all the nations are like a drop of water in the bottom of a bucket. Or if you have weighed some grain and there's the dust from the wheat, the rice or whatever, that's how all of us together are. In Isaiah 40:17 it says, all nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing, and vanity. Yes, you are driving around in your large SUV, that's these Jeep type vehicles, that includes you. You who are lording it over others and making their lives a complete misery, you are less than nothing. Consider this. In mathematics, the less than nothing is that sign, like an arrow. Now, how do you divide less than nothing by 7 billion? We are truly, truly insignificant. You can call people anything you like. You can say they're terrorists, insurgents, the enemy, whatever you like. But all of us are still less than nothing. Does that make you feel real good? In Acts 10:34, then Peter opened his mouth and said, of a truth, I perceive that God is no respecter of persons. So, we are all equal before God as being less than nothing. It matters not whether you're black, green, white or purple. When I see the command telling us to love one another, I do not see any exceptions. There are two commands. The whole law and the prophets and everything is summed up by love God and love your neighbor. If you love God, you will keep his commandments. And this is how Christ defined love. Short and to the point, just 7 words. John 14:15. If you love me, keep my commandments. If you love me, keep my commandments. That means all of them. It's not a pick and mix. This includes thou shalt not kill. And here's a big problem for me, because I see all these world leaders, Bush and Blair and all of them, professing their Christianity. But it says thou shalt not kill. I see the churches supporting this killing. I can't see that they are associated or related to the eternal God in any way, shape or form.